Hi, welcome to this video. I was sweeping through the internet to find a nice review of those three headphones. There's many reviews out there. However, I did not find one that specifically talked about classical music. And that's very important for me, as I will tell you later. So I figured, why not do it myself, as I have three of the most amazing Bluetooth headphones right here on my table. And I've actually listened to all of them and will let you know how they sound. At the end, I will also let you know which one I might want to keep for different purposes that I have for using headphones. They all involve classical music on quite high level. So, who am I and why should I judge headphones? I'm classical musician, I'm a studied cellist, and I'm teaching at the Stella Musikhochschule, which is a university for classical musicians. And I'm teaching the cello there, so I have a cello class with many students. I play a lot of chamber music with friends and colleagues. I play some solo concertos from time to time, and in general I'm a lot on stages. But in the recent years I've recorded many CDs, so almost every year, maybe every other year, there was one CD coming out in different settings. And I don't know if you know, but the process always involves listening to first and second edits. Also during the recording, actually listen to how it sounds, listen to the balance, reacting to the balance, maybe rearranging microphones, maybe taking different microphones. So it's a very, very sensitive task. I'm not a sound engineer, and I'm not an audiophile in the sense of hi-fi equipment. That's why I want Bluetooth headphones and not headphones that use headphone amplifiers. But I am an audiophile in terms of I like listening to high quality stuff, usually in live, real world. Which is concerts or in rehearsals, or listening to my students, or listening to friends and colleagues, or listening to myself, which I have to when I play. So I do have ears in a way to judge. I'm not specialized on headphones, however. So just for you to know, and of course all opinions are super subjective. Nobody of the manufacturers paid me anything, or they did not even send it. So I ordered all three of them, I paid the bills, and I will send at least two of them back. I'll let you know in the end. And now we get to part 3. Why is a high-end headphone important for me? So, as I said, I'm listening to many recordings, and there was always a missing part. So I have three quite okay headphones. It's the Bose QuietComfort 25, it's the Bose QuietComfort 35 Mark II, and I also have Beyerdynamics DT880 Pro. I mean, they're nice headphones, all of them, and they work great when I travel, especially the Bose, as they have noise cancelling and they have a lot of bass, and it's fun to watch movies and just to disappear from noisy areas. But they're not so much fun for classical music, sadly. So yeah, it sounds really like a big soup, and especially kind of with a lot of overtones just squeezed together and a lot of bubbly bass all over the place. So it's not so much fun to listen to classical music, I find. So I don't do that very much. And then when I have to go over a CD and try to make comments about the quality, I don't know. For me, it's really difficult. It's really difficult to tell how it sounds, because it feels really awkward, and I cannot really grasp the details very much. So that's why I want better headphones, and instead of going to wired ones, which are much cheaper, I do prefer the wireless ones with noise cancelling, because then I actually can take them along, and then I also can listen to a recording or just enjoy classical music when I'm on the road, when I'm in a plane, or when I'm just in somewhere else and not at home. Because I will most definitely not buy an headphone amplifier and take it with me with the headphones. So that's why it's specifically a use case for those headphones, in my case anyways. This brings us to part 4, introducing the headphones. So what do we have here? I have the Bowers and Wilkins here, PX8. So it's the latest headphone of the PX series. They look amazing. I love their look. Look at that. Super sleek, nice color, not too big, not too small. And they fit nicely on my head anyways. The box is quite nice, but I will not talk very much about the boxes, about the features. There's much better reviews out there than I could ever do. So I will just talk about what I can tell you, which is what I hear in classical music. So that's the PX8. Then we have the Focal Bathys. It's a French manufacturer. That's how they look like. Very different style. Much bigger ear cups, but that's not what it is about, right? So there's a case here. It's nice. It's not as sleek as the other one, but it feels a bit practical, and it's not like a shiny object that you have to be afraid of being stolen or something. So I'll leave it here. And the last one is a very shiny box. I love the box. So this is the Bang & Olufsen H95, and they look amazing also, I find. And I love how they have like a volume dial here and the noise cancelling dial on the other side. It's amazing. It's like they look fantastic. I mean, from the weight they're quite similar, but look it up. There's slight differences, of course. They look great. I don't know, I like blue. I like also this specific blue they have. I don't know if you can see it properly. Yeah, but there's other colors around. So let's talk about sound. And I have to admit, this is very subjective. And as I told you, I'm not a sound engineer. I cannot do any measurements at all. But what I can tell you is what I like and what I don't like. And when I listen to classical music, I kind of have a quite strong vision of how something has to sound, because that's my daily work. So either I'm practicing on the instrument and trying to find very specific colors and sounds, or I'm listening to my students and trying to make them listen for very specific sounds and colors. So I don't know, my ear seems, I think I'm quite sharp for this. And yeah, it's an interesting task for me to translate what I do on the instrument to headphones, because of course it's quite different, and they're very different sound sources than a, I don't know, instrument like a cello, which is a resonance body like this, or a violin is much smaller, but then it's from wood and it's being activated with with strings and with a bow. So it's a very different sound production. So yeah, I'll try my best and to give you a perspective. So let's start with the Bang & Olufsen H95. I really like this one. It's fun to listen to. It's kind of, in a way, it's neutral, it feels. Still very warm and quite a lot of bass also. And it's rather on the direct side. So, I mean, it's fun to kind of enter, if I listen to chamber music, enter an ensemble and really hearing who is doing what and finding, like hearing lots of details. And then there's also lots of power, and they can also be very loud. Maybe it's a bit too much bass. I don't know. So if you've ever been to a concert, chamber music concert, and it's a hall with maybe 200 or 300 people in the audience, it's like a regular chamber music hall size. Maybe it's even bigger chamber music hall size. You don't hear a lot of bass. So even if you have a bass player there, or like a grand piano with a super low octave, it's not like there's a lot of bass around. So I feel the Bang & Olufsen, they kind of give much more bass than you would experience in a hall. However, I like bass, like I'm a cello player, so I really like how bass powers the music. Yeah, so maybe the feel is more like you're in the studio or in a smaller room where this group is playing fantastically, right? So everybody plays great and you're really close to them. And that kind of gives an intimate contact in a way. So that's nice. Next one. The next one is the PX8. And I have to say, after 10 seconds listening to this one, I was shocked. You cannot believe it. And this was not only me. I also tried the same thing with my girlfriend, and she is also a little bit of a musician. However, she's into video production. So I will give her a link below, and she's doing some great stuff there. So she knows a bit about production, and she also knows about how sound can sound like and how it maybe should not sound like. And for her it was the same. I really did not like it at all. It really hurts my ears. And the interesting thing is, when I listen to electronic music, it's not like this. For electronic music, I really like, I like the style. It's super direct, it's super punchy. It's got very, very crispy, higher frequency area. Great, great. But when it comes to string players specifically, for me the violins are always screaming and it really hurts. It really hurts my ears. Can you believe it? Like super high-end headphones, but then they hurt my ears. Impossible. But maybe that's also my ears. So definitely check them out yourself. If you're experienced, let me know in the comments if you have a different sensation of those headphones, listening to violinists or chamber music with violin. Or maybe also orchestra recordings with like oboes or like wind players. Maybe that also goes for them. But for me, it's very uncomfortable. So I like them a lot. I think they look fantastic. I like the entire package they deliver. I don't like the app so much. Like, it's not my favorite app. So you can only dial up high frequencies and low frequencies, and you cannot really adjust it very much. But I mean, it's fine. It's fine. The rest is fantastic. It's a great product, but it hurts my ears. So I will definitely not keep that one. The last one is the Focal Bathys, and it's pronounced in a strange way because they're French, and it's a French manufacturer, and they're in the business for a couple decades, and I think they're quite famous for high-end headphones and actually also high-end stereo and hi-fi stuff. I have no idea. I'm not an audiophile, so this is the first time I'm looking into this world. So what can I tell you about it? If you put them on and then noise cancelling is on permanently, and unless you have the transparency mode, you only hear the music. You feel like you're in a super beautiful sounding chamber music hall. So of course they don't put reverb there or anything, but the instruments are a bit further away and they feel a bit more spread out. So it's not like you're sitting in the middle of a group and here's kind of cello and violin and viola and they're playing all in your ears, but it's much more like, I don't know, you're sitting in row 5 of a bigger hall with 20 or 30 or 40 rows. You're sitting in row 5 and you're really getting the best of the string sound. So you probably know, like the sound wave of a string instrument. I know that because I used to produce electronic music for a time. The sound wave is kind of it's called sawtooth, I think in German. It's called Sägezahn, Wellenform. It's a sawtooth sound wave, and it can actually be annoying. So if you're sitting very close to it and if you're not used to it, I think you can get annoyed by it because it always has this kind of I don't know, mosquito like bzzzt, and that really goes into the ear, and yeah, and we string players always try to make it sound more like a voice, which has a completely different sound production, as we have, I don't know what it's called in English, but we have things in the lung that make noise, which is not like a bow on a metal string, right? Okay, maybe this is not so important, but then the Focal Bathys really managed to get out the very, very best of the string instrument, which is kind of the soul of the music and the soul of the sound. And they make you feel like you're in a quite intimate contact with the music, but you're not in the middle. So it's not like they're really going into your ear. So you have a little bit of kind of personal space between the music and yourself. At the same time, it makes the sound of the violin and also the other string players silky. So it's so much fun to listen to the overtones and like the super high frequencies, even if it's very loud and like super pushy violin playing, which some people like and do. Even if it's super pushy, it's still elegant, but it's never without the character, right? So if the violin really tries to play angry and upset, you still get this character. Still, it has this quality of a good singing voice, and it never goes into kind of a screaming, like when you're into pop music, I don't know. It's, of course, it's super cool, like Rage Against the Machine, I love it, but this is not a style that should happen in an opera or in a Schubert lied, right? Or Beastie Boys. I'm from the 90s. So Beastie Boys voice, you don't want as a violin player, especially not for an entire piece, right? So even though it's super dramatic and screaming and dying and, I don't know, outrageous, then they still make it sound nice without losing any of the intensity, if that makes any sense. And I love how viola sounds, I love how cello sounds, and the bass sounds fantastic. And I have to say the piano was great. I really like the piano. So because it gets, I don't know, if you have a good pianist and a good like a sound engineer making this recording, the piano notes, they sound like really like raindrops in slow motion. Like, I don't know, I cannot tell you exactly what it is, but it sounds fantastic. So it's a joy to listen to well-made recordings because they kind of amplify the beauty that is available in comparison specifically to the Bowers and Wilkins that do not do anything like this, but rather kind of do something to, especially the overtones, that makes it sting your ear. Super interesting. And like, I have to say, like, I listened recently to Enescu Octet a bit because I have to play it in a couple weeks, and it's a great work. I love it, and I'm looking forward to the concert in July. My plan was go for one movement, get it to know, like practice a bit, listen one more time. You know, the kind of getting to know routine of a rather new piece or of a complex piece, getting to know it back again. I just got lost and then suddenly the piece was over. So, and in one part, this has never really happened. I just kind of stopped breathing and was really touched. I still don't know the work well enough to really pinpoint who played this specific part. I will let you know in the comments if you're interested. I stopped breathing. I was completely caught by the music. So it was not about the sound anymore. It was really about the music. I was in there. I connected to the musician that was kind of playing in this concert. This has never happened really to me in listening to concerts. This has never happened to me listening to recordings. So I always use recordings as kind of something to get to know classical music. But this was unique. And I was cooking at the same time, right? It's like I was in the kitchen and I just like, oh my God, this place is so beautiful. I don't know, maybe you can guess which headphones I would go for. Of course, you guessed right. It will be the Focal Bathys. they are just so much fun to listen to. And I will see how they handle in the plane. I mean, yeah, all of them are actually really expensive. So I've been thinking a lot about this. Like, is it really worth it? Should I go for it? Should I not go for it? But then in the end, I could have used them so often in the last 5 years. And I'm not so old yet, so I might use them still for the next 40 years. So my guess is this is hopefully the last buy in this area in a way, right? So they're super high end, they sound fantastic, and it's not like computers that you have to throw them away after 4 years. So yeah, I love the sound. Noise cancelling is okay. Like, I don't know, Bose is maybe even better a little bit, but for me it's not about like the maximum of noise cancelling. It's really about like a super nice balanced acoustic experience, and they kind of deliver something that I've never heard before. I'm not an audiophile, but I really like it. I really like how I can connect to the music with those headphones. That's something. Yeah, if you travel a lot or if you need super light headphones, I think all three of them are not the right thing for you. If you're worried about carrying 700 euros around your neck, don't get them. I think you can get wired ones that are on the same quality for probably almost half the price or something. But if you want to travel and if you want to enjoy classical music when you're traveling in a rather noisy environment, I think Vocal Bathys is fantastic. My personal opinion. Still, I would suggest, if you're really in this kind of price range, order your headphones, try 2 or 3 of them, and then send 2 or 3 of them back, right? So, thanks for staying until here. I hope you liked the video. Maybe you did actually, as you're still here. It would be great if you could hit the like button, and if you like to hear some cello music or chamber music on this channel, it would be great actually to get a subscription from you, and also from time to time a comment. You know, the YouTube algorithm, we don't really know what it does, but apparently activity really helps a lot. So thanks for that, and see you in the next one. If you have questions, let me know. I will try to answer all of them.